Welcome to Wellbeing A to Z. In this episode E, we take a peek at some laser eye surgery options. We discover why eggs are exceptional for you and bust some of those myths surrounding exercise. The beauty of sight is often taken for granted until things start to get a little fuzzy round the edges. But with today's technology, many eye disorders can be easily corrected. The trick is to catch them early. Have you noticed a change in the way your eyes focus? Are you short or long-sighted? A simple trip to the optometrist will perhaps shed some light on the situation. The eye test that we are most familiar with from our school days is the letter chart test. But an optometrist will also measure the pressure of your eyes and check the backs of your eyes for age-related decline, like cataracts or macular degeneration. It's recommended to have an eye test every 2 years. Conditions like diabetes, kidney disease, and high blood pressure can alter sight swiftly.
Any defect that you find, the earlier you find it, the better. By the age of 8, all problems such as lazy eyes are set. You can't actually do anything about it. Obviously, with long-sighted and short-sighted, you can sort those out later on, but if you don't catch these lazy eye defects early, then that's it. If they're having trouble seeing, they're going to have trouble reading, they're going to have trouble with their schoolwork, and they're not going to perform as well. Also, there are certain occupations where the standards of vision are quite high, and if you end up with a lazy eye and you want to be a pilot or something, you can't. But if that had been treated when you were younger, then perhaps you could.
Another sign that it's time to get your eyes tested is if you notice yourself getting frequent headaches while reading or using the computer. If no refractive error is found in your eyes, then perhaps you are suffering from computer vision syndrome. The American Optometric Association suggests regular breaks and the correct placement of the monitor to avoid dry eyes, cricked necks, and headaches. If, on the other hand, a refractive error is found by your optometrist, then it's time to go shopping for some new frames or contact lenses. The optometrist will choose a lens that's just right for your eye, then the rest is up to you. Chanel or Donna Karan, anyone? In a well-balanced diet packed with vitamins and minerals, vitamin E stands for excellence in antioxidant action and age defiance. Get your vitamin E boost with a plate of fresh asparagus. White, green, purple, take your pick, it's all good. Choose bright spears and compact tips for the highest vitamin content. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin and actually needs fats present to be digested, making nuts the perfect snack. Almonds and hazelnuts in particular are high in vitamin E and good fats. Protect your cells' membranes from oxidation with a handful. Oils such as red palm and olive are high in vitamin E. So boost up your red blood cell count by cooking with one of these delicious alternatives. Vitamin E deficiency is extremely rare in humans. This vitamin makes an appearance in many fruits and veggies, especially the green leafy ones like spinach. And of course, avocados are where it's at if it's vitamin E you're after. These come complete with good fats too for easy E absorption. Keep your eyes in condition by avoiding sugar, eating a balanced diet, and doing some simple focus exercises. You want to get away from the stress of work and everyday life in the concrete jungle. But the last thing you want is a stressful holiday in an oversized resort with yet more environment-consuming concrete everywhere you look. Imagine vacationing in a place so at ease in its surrounds that it seems to grow organically from the landscape. The oryx are so comfortable with the setup that they munch lazily along while casting an occasional eye at those interesting humans and their bouncy offspring. Welcome to your eco-escape, where you rub shoulders with nature's elite whilst leaving the lightest of carbon footprints in the desert sands. Leave the television and computer at home and the mobile switched off. This is the land of ancient delights. Falconry and camel riding are the main events of the day. Feel a sense of serenity, safe in the knowledge that your presence in this land will leave it more replenished and resource-rich than when you arrived. You won't miss the mod-cons of home as you indulge your inner Matisse. See with your very own eyes the benefit of your presence to this landscape. Your tourist dollar funneled straight into the rehabilitation of this ancient land. Flourishing vegetation and plentiful wildlife, the legacy of your soul-nourishing eco-escape. The secret's out. The key to keeping a healthy, dementia-free brain well into your dotage is to give it a good education. Experts are now saying that the risk of Alzheimer's and vascular dementia can be reduced by 46% by hitting the books. Keeping the brain active builds up a reserve of cells that interact intricately with each other. The benefits of this brain cell bank stretch on way after you've completed your course. But there is a trick. You have to keep your study stress-free. Stress while studying can actually reduce your memory capacity and mislay information. So don't take on too much. Scientists agree the best form of education for building the brain must be reasonably complex, varied, frequent, and, well, interesting. But it's not only the academic side of education that has the brain firing on all cylinders. Social participation and communication in a class environment maintain healthy brain function too. Brains do not lose volumes of cells as the person gets older. The amount of cells a person has at age 25 is close to the amount they'll have at 65. The connection between cells deteriorates with lack of use. So it's important to keep up the education of your brain right through your life. You want to keep your account full at the brain bank. New neuro pathways can be created at any age. So don't let the fact that you're over 50 stop you from learning what you've only dreamed of. Always wanted to be an artist? Educating your brain in matters artistic might be the thing that keeps you living longer. Experts in geriatrics say that those residents who regularly partake in arts and crafts keep their faculties longer than those who sit and veg out in the nursing home. The options for education are limitless. There might be a university or a college in your area that specialises in adult education. Ever fancied learning a new language? Trying out the latest dance craze? Take your pick of brain-stimulating activities. And if you can't make it to a college, experts all agree that a great way to keep your brain alive is to read, read, read. Educate or vegetate. Take the interesting option. A bona fide eco-escape leaves the wildlife, environment and culture of your holiday destination in a richer state than when you arrived. Do you need to book in for a spot of resurfacing? Sounds like something you'd have done to a car, doesn't it? But for the last 20 years, doctors have been using excimer lasers to recontour, resculpt, and resurface the eye. Contrary to popular belief, absolutely everybody has some kind of refractive quirk between their cornea, that clear flesh over the eye, and their retina, the little black hole that adjusts to the light. For some people, the refractive error is so pronounced, it hinders their focusing ability. You might be suffering from short-sightedness or myopia, which means you can only focus on close objects. Or you might be long-sighted. This is called hyperopia. An optometrist or ophthalmologist will help you decide if you're suitable for eye surgery. Most common refractive complaints are correctable with laser eye surgery. After receiving antibiotic drops and a few local anaesthetic drops pre-op, you'll be in the competent hands of the surgeon and his advanced machinery. The surgeon will remove the topmost layer of skin from the front of your cornea, and then the resurfacing of the deep cornea begins. The laser removes cells from the surface of the cornea until it is all smooth and appropriately shaped. It actually doesn't take very long. Once the top flap of skin is replaced, it adheres immediately to the eye, and sometimes people experience great vision 1 hour after the end of the procedure. For others, it might take overnight or a few days. In most cases, the entire event is pain-free. Some people might find their eyes feel dry and gritty post-op. Be careful not to rub your eyes for 2 weeks after surgery. You don't want to dislodge the flap, and contact sport should be avoided for 3 months. But after that, it's clearly life as usual. Cholesterol is the word on everyone's lips, and eggs seem to be at the heart of the matter. Are these little morsels to be feared or revered? Let's put it to the taste test. Eggs are packed with vitamins and minerals. Vitamins A, B1, B12, E, zinc, iron, and a whole host of specialised antioxidants work together to guard against macular degeneration and other diseases. Eggs are also one of those rare foods in which vitamin D is found, helping your muscles and bones make the most of calcium intake. All these nutrients plus 10% of your daily protein needs, all for a crazy 70 calories. What a handy snack. So, what's all the fuss about? Well, eggs are essentially food for baby birds, and most babies thrive on foods rich in saturated fats. Eggs are high in cholesterol, delivering close to the daily recommended limit per yolk. However, countries like Japan and France eat lots of eggs, and neither of them have high levels of cardiovascular disease or coronary heart disease. Harvard has just completed a 20-year study on 57,000 men and women and have found that only people who eat eggs every day are at increased risk of heart disease. People who suffer diabetes type 2 especially are at a huge risk of heart disease if they eat 1 egg or more per day. The rest of us can happily eat 2 to 3 eggs per week with no added risk. Of course, you can help yourself further by preparing your eggs in a healthy manner. A low-fat scram might be better than a good old-fashioned fry-up. Any egg is a good egg, but all things in moderation. Try to choose eggs from free-range hens. They have 1/3 less cholesterol and twice the good fats than cheap cage eggs. Humans and horses have been enjoying each other's company, arguably for the last 6,000 years. They share a history steeped in battles, triumphs, discovery, and sore muscles. To the untrained eye, horse and equestrian appear graceful and fluid as they move effortlessly across the arena. But underneath all that stage calm, there is some awesome muscle action taking place. It's a superb way to keep fit. Every muscle group in your body gets a workout when riding a horse. But in particular, the deep abdominal and dorsal regions get a look in, enhancing core strength and toning up that six-pack. The adductor muscles in the thighs, the ones you cling on to the horse with, are always engaged and become well-defined. Equestrianism provides a moderate cardio workout. It's great for people who can't raise their heart rates to ultra-high levels. This is a strain-free way to keep fit. And of course, your coordination is enhanced and mental focus increased as you concentrate on balancing on a moving platform. An equestrian develops superb postural muscles, while at the same time becoming flexible in the lower back and hip area. It doesn't look like it, but an equestrian will burn as many calories in a 1-hour session as a jogger does in a half-hour jog. If you do this every day, chances are you'll never have to step foot inside a gym. And aside from the physical benefits of equestrianism, there's also the joy, friendship and trust between horse and rider that makes this pursuit a tonic for the heart and soul. Fresh air, sunshine, four-legged friendship and a wonderful workout. Equestrianism has it all, really. The face of eye disease is not necessarily an old one. Visual degeneration can happen at any age. But the good news is, if detected early, you may be able to salvage your remaining eyesight. Don't leave it until you experience scotomas, these fuzzy patches in your vision, to do something about it. Have regular eye tests, especially from the age of 35 onwards. If you have dark patches or pieces of vision missing from your central field of vision, you could be suffering from macular degeneration or glaucoma, along with hundreds of thousands of other people. As soon as you detect a change in your vision, take action. Don't just dismiss it as a sign of old age. You can't check the condition of your retinas at home in the mirror. A professional optometrist needs to dilate your pupils and illuminate them to get a good look right down deep at the back of the eye.
It makes me feel very despondent to see them being led in by a friend or relative and to discover that they had a condition which would have been preventable by drops or laser treatment, and that now we can't bring back that eyesight and we have to register them as blind or partially sighted.
Glaucoma is another disease that affects a fair percentage of the population. Diabetics, people who suffer migraines, short-sighted people, and people with a history of steroid use should be especially aware of this optic nerve-destroying condition. There is no cure for either macular degeneration or glaucoma, but you can slow its progress with medicated drops, laser and surgery. It's best to keep your eye on the ball when it comes to the health of your eyes. Tests are pain-free and pay-free in most countries. Always wear protective headgear when riding. Your head may be 3 meters from the ground. That's a long way down. If speed, height, inherent danger and high physical exertion are on your list of what makes a good sport, you're probably one of the growing number of youngsters who like to take things to the extreme. Forget Fuel TV, you want the real thing. But what makes some people predisposed to thrill-seeking and others quite happy to trot along on the treadmill? Genetics or sheer madness?
Those who've got this A1 allele had significantly fewer dopamine receptors in pleasure areas of their brain. That means that these people, don't get the normal pleasure and fun in life under normal circumstances.
Other studies show that people who are attracted to pitting themselves against the elements in a sport with uncontrollable variables and who actually enjoy the feeling of narrowly cheating death regularly are able to cope better under pressure in everyday life than we mere mortals. But will they live long enough to enjoy this amazing psychological asset? One researcher went to do a 4th yearly checkup on his extreme sports subjects and found that 8% of them had met with a grisly end. Now that's what I call an extreme statistic. So take precautions next time you base jump yourself head first off the nearest cliff, if that's possible. Everyone wants to do the right thing and get in shape. But how do you wade through the obstacle course of exercise myths to a better you? One common misconception is that cardio is the best fat buster. The truth is, you should mix some weight and strength training in with your cardio. Too much cardio all on its own will strip fat and muscle. Keep a good balance. Another popular myth is that you can lose all the weight you want just through exercise. But in reality, there are other contributing factors. Your diet, genetics, and pre-existing conditions may put a limit on the amount of fat you can shift and how fast. Contrary to popular belief, swimming is a great way to downsize. But getting out and about to a gym is not everyone's idea of a good time. It's a myth that the gym is the most effective place to exercise. Do what's right for you. And how often should you exercise? Well, to change your body shape, you need a minimum of 3 varied classes a week. But you should be doing at least half an hour of exercise on all the other days too. Consistency, nutrition, and a good ratio of strength to cardio training will bust the fat along with the myths. Breathing the delicious aroma of essential oil not only sets the mood for relaxation, but may also have amazing benefits for your physical health. According to a recent study from the University of Southampton, oils such as lavender, thyme and tea tree are very effective at killing off dangerous bacteria. Almost 100% effective. E. coli and golden staph just can't survive in the presence of these powerful plant oils. The essential oil industry is coming along in leaps and bounds. Now, due to new technology, fewer harsh solvents are being used in the extraction process. So you can breathe in all of those wonderful scents without a care in the world. Essential plant oils can be used